Hey Pokemon fans, it's TheJWittz here with a brand new Pokemon Fact of the Day. He's the boss of Team Rocket, he's the Viridian City gym leader, and he's the self-proclaimed strongest trainer in the world. Let's talk a little bit about Giovanni. Even though Giovanni could have been just a generic bad guy for a simple RPG, his character is unexpectedly complex. The twist of finding out the abandoned Viridian City gym actually belonged to the boss of Team Rocket is one of the best in Pokemon to date, and he's still the only gym leader you fight before finally confronting him in an official Pokemon battle. Leading us off is today's special guest, ChuggaaConroy, with a popular Giovanni fan theory.
What if Giovanni was the good guy, and you, the player, were the villain that stopped him? It might sound a little far-fetched, but it's a fun alternate way of looking at things. Let's assume that, like in the anime, Giovanni wanted to create Mewtwo, the world's most powerful Pokemon, but in destroying the lab and fleeing, he realized its power was too great to be contained. What if everything Giovanni hired Team Rocket to do in Red, Blue, and Yellow, and Green and Fire Red and Leaf Green and all those other games, was Giovanni's journey to atone for his sin of Mewtwo's creation? Let's look at his actions. What if the reason Team Rocket stole fossils from Mount Moon is that Mewtwo, being the strongest Pokemon alive, Giovanni felt the only way to stop him would be using Pokemon from the past? But that plan failed because you stopped him. What if the reason Team Rocket kidnapped Mr. Fuji and stole the Sylph Scope was so that they could capture Ghost Pokemon, a psychic type's natural weakness? But that failed because you stopped him. What if Giovanni took the Sylph Company present hostage to steal the Master Ball, the only surefire way to make sure he could recapture Mewtwo without fail? But that failed because you stopped him and used the Master Ball for yourself. For reference, I like using the Master Ball on Zapdos in my playthroughs. I know, I'm evil. I stopped Giovanni. All Giovanni wanted to do was save the world, but he couldn't, and it's all your fault. But admittedly, while this is a pretty fun theory, there's more holes in it than Diglett's Cave. For starters, while Giovanni has a huge connection with Mewtwo in the anime, there's nothing direct in the games. Both the anime and games do have a Dr. Fuji, but one of them seems to have abandoned his life of science while the other was burnt to a crisp. It's also a bit harder to find a reason for Team Rocket selling stolen Pokemon at their game corner, or explaining why they needed to break into a house to steal the TM for Dig. And there's also the fact that in the first generation, Psychic wasn't weak to Ghost at all. In fact, it was immune to it. Only in the second generation onward did the Ghost type get a strength against Psychic to help balance out the overpowered type. So maybe it isn't too feasible to assume that Giovanni was actually the good guy, but the fact still stands. We're still talking about a guy that used to be a huge part of the Pokemon League as a gym leader, so maybe there is still some good in him.
It turns out that there's a deleted anime scene with Giovanni. In the anime, Meowth would often have boss fantasies, where he'd imagine how the Pokemon Team Rocket would capture could help the boss. This fantasy involves Giovanni in tight swimwear, covered in honey, and being licked by his loyal Pokemon companions. Yeah, I'm gonna just... Never gonna see Giovanni the same way now. Did you know that Giovanni is a father? In Pokemon Live, a ridiculous live-action musical, Giovanni was stated to have a previous relationship with Ash's mom.
Delia? Oh, good to see you again. You look lovely.
Leave her alone!
You and me back together. Imagine that.
While the entire play is non-canon and based on the anime, it isn't too ridiculous to propose that Giovanni is Ash's father in the show. Pokemon Live is painful to listen to today, but a handful of the actors in it actually went on to become part of huge Broadway productions, like Wicked and Book of Mormon. You've gotta start somewhere, I guess. Prior to Heart Gold Soul Silver, it was a popular fan theory that Silver, your rival in the second generation, was actually Giovanni's son. Even as far back as the original Gold and Silver, fans liked to speculate. After all, how could a character who was known for stealing Pokemon hate Team Rocket so much? There was clearly a missing piece to the puzzle, and a falling out with Giovanni as his father seemed to be a possible solution. This theory looked to be pretty much acknowledged as canon in Fire Red Leaf Green, where a fame checker response revealed the following. Giovanni's kid has red hair. Also, while not canon, the Fire Red Leaf Green chapter of the Adventures manga took it a step further and straight up declared Silver as Giovanni's child. And finally, in Heart Gold Soul Silver, a special segment only playable when using an event Celebi reveals Giovanni as Silver's father. As you travel back in time with Celebi, it is revealed that Giovanni abandons his son after his defeat at the hands of Red, leaving Silver with his angry personality that he has in the Gold and Silver games. Also in Heart Gold Soul Silver, another theory emerges. If Giovanni is the father, who is the mother? Many speculate it to be Ariana, one of the Team Rocket executives and the interim boss of Team Rocket while Giovanni is gone in Gold and Silver. While her character was unnamed in Gold and Silver, she still has her own unique sprite and red hair. And judging by her hair in the official Heart Gold Soul Silver artwork, along with her repeated mentions of loyalty to Giovanni, it wouldn't be too big of a stretch to say that Ariana could be Silver's mother. And to round out our fan theories comes a darker one that many formed after the Celebi event that I mentioned earlier. The second portion of the event answers the question, where was Giovanni during Gold and Silver, and why didn't he return? Here, you battle Giovanni at his hideout in Tojo Falls, and after defeating him, he exits the cave with a broken spirit. Some fans speculate that because Giovanni left right into the Tojo Falls waterfall, and because he had no Pokemon on his team with Surf, that the Rocket Boss committed suicide, never to return. Many argue that the sound you hear after Giovanni exits is his splash once he hits the water, before finally sinking to his doom. Many refute this theory by pointing out that the sound very well could have just been radio static, as the Team Rocket recruits call out to him. Also, Giovanni makes an appearance as a possible opponent in Black and White 2's Pokemon World Tournament. Whatever his fate, it's a shame that Giovanni hasn't returned to the games in some form or another outside of the World Tournament. While his motivations might not have been as deep as future antagonists like N, his mysterious past and epic unveiling still make him one of the best Pokemon villains to date. I am the greatest trainer in town, and I like to skate around on these awesome roller skates and do spin tricks. Whoa, guys! You gotta warn me when the video's recording that I hit the button to and set up the tripod for. I get it. You want an end segment, right? Understandable. They give you great closure, but let's be honest here. Pokemon X and Y is out. I don't have any time for that silly business. Well, when you put it that way, I would like to thank ChuggaaConroy for being a part of this video. He makes awesome Let's Plays, a ton of them about Pokemon games, and you can check out one of his Pokemon Let's Plays by clicking that video up in the corner. Also, if you like this video and you'd like to be alerted when more of mine come out, you can click this button to subscribe to my channel. And if you appreciated that one part in my video where, sorry guys, who am I kidding? I just need to play this game right now. Please leave me alone.